Right, my people, how you guys doing today? We are back again. Yes. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to every one of you right there. We are literally back again today. We're going to talk about the Edogis, our brother area, Mr. Ramato Stephen is going to take us through on this. We're talking about the Edogis, the ban on opening grazing, and the ongoing situation in the Nigerian embassy in Spain. So my people, make una join us, make we talk this one together. I salute.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. A very quick one this evening. I just dropped a post that I'm going to talk about the Edogis, the ban by Governor Obaseki, and the situation of things at the Nigerian embassy in Spain. So we're going to be the three things I'm going to dwell on tonight. And if the network permits, then I'm going to dwell on it also. But if it doesn't permit, wherever the network cut up, I might continue from there tomorrow. Because I live in Nigeria right now, so there's going to be a lot of situations here and there. Okay, guys. So I wanted to just press the share button. Let's share this video and let's invite friends to the show. Okay. Now let me start with the Edogis. I'm going to start with that. I think in 2017 or so, the government of Edogis Obaseki came up with this idea of Edo Geographical Information System, which now took over the grant and of CFOs, which is called Certificate of Occupancy, and in their website, we were told it's going to be 1 month to 3 months of duration before your offer letter and your certificate of occupancy will be released. If there is no inch underlined, there is no inch or inches in the acquisition of your land. And then many of us in diaspora, we jumped into it because we felt that was the best way for us to be able to safeguard our property, knowing fully where the nuisance of some of our community leaders, the Okareles, sorry guys, the CDAs and many other who were actually on rampage in selling people's properties. And people like me came back and we decided to lodge in our quests to get a CFO for our properties. I came with a lot of my friends, which we actually lodged in our quest for a CFO, and that was done in January, late January, because I actually came in late January. Now from that late January to this moment, which is about 6 months plus, we've not been called. We've not been even told why there is a delay in processing the certificate of occupancy. Neither have we been told if there are inches or issues that is making them to delay the insurance of certificate of occupancy. Now this is where I'm finding it a little bit funny with the Nigerian setting. You see, many of these people who are in the corridor party, like I know the director of Edogis travels a lot. He has gone to virtually all other parts of Europe and America, and I expect him to have seen the way and manner things have been done in this climb. I've given the government of Governor Obaseki a series of suggestions on how land issues can be dealt with in Edo State with little or no stress. And many of the advices have not been taken. That's not a problem because I'm not within the corridor of power. But I want to say this very clearly to those people who are in charge of the Edo GIS. If you feel or you know the workload on your table now is becoming very voluminous, and the time you have actually, allocated for CFOs to be released to what is it called? People who are the landowners and property owners in the state is no more realistic. It's no more, a reality. I would have suggested you go back to your website and amend your already existing protocols. This is what white men do. But the moment they see that there is already some kind of a inch in the process of what they have said, they quickly go into their website and correct it immediately. Because when you have, the right, information being put out to the people, nobody will be storming the Edogis. Neither will anyone be there crying that they submitted, an application for 5, 6, 7 months and they've not gotten any reply, whether a yes or a no. So everybody would have been aware of the situation that is on ground. Okay, it's going to take 7 months, it's going to take 1 year, it's going to take 2 years, as the case may be. But in a situation where this is not done, you guys just tell the people, yeah, it's going to be okay. You are getting it in 1 or 3 months, and at the end of the 3 months, these people are not getting it. One, they are going to put pressure on the agents, because they are also agents who are intermediary between the diasporans and the Edogis. Going to put so much pressure on the agent who is facilitating, the acquisition of a CFO from the government. They're going to think maybe these guys have eaten their money. They're going to think maybe these guys are not doing the right thing. They're going to think a lot of things which will now actually jeopardize the flow of income to these agents who are the intermediaries. So I'm going to suggest to the director of Edogis, please, I've followed you. I've seen how you've tried to defend, a lot of things that is happening within, that very particular agency. I want to also use the same, time, the same strength you are using to try to defend, to also correct some of the things that is right now on your website. It's going to help, the government of Obaseki. It's going to help the agency called Edogis. And it's going to help you as a director not to be termed as a failure. It was a brilliant idea by the government to reduce the cost of certificate of occupancy to that amount. But today is becoming a little bit stressful for people who are applying for a CFO and are not getting significant information from the people. And sometimes when you go there, they will just tell you, go, we're going to send you an SMS. Just like that. Very, very unprofessional. Some of those workers there, they are very, very unprofessional. They are very rude, particularly if they don't know you. And the worst part of it is they work with people they know. They work by faces. And government ought not to do that. There should be no form of nepotism or favoritism in government establishment. But I have found out that at Edogis, that is a rampant issue. They know people they deal with faster. I don't know the reason why. Because of the corrupt system of Nigeria, I might even think there is a kickback. Okay? So, when people submit in a developed world where we live in, when people submit for a certain benefit from the government does not rule or try to favor some. It follows due processes. He attends to everyone as a neutral person. That's how actually a government can function without biasness, nepotism, or favoritism. So whoever is in charge, please, it is high time you stand up to the reality and begin to do the right thing to save the hard-earned, idea of Governor Obaseki and many others who sat down to come up with this very brilliant idea in order to stop, this rampaging, ravaging land grabbers from grabbing people's houses or selling people's properties without their permission. If not because of the sluggishness, the lukewarmness, and the advocate attitude of many of those who are actually at the Edogis, I think by now 95% of those in diasporas would have had their lands and their houses surveyed, and also with an C of O, issue to them. This would have generated a lot of income to the purse of the state government, and also would have put job in many, of the surveyors in Edo State today. In their, it would have put jobs, on their tables. So please, guys, I want you all to sit up and do the job you have been paid to do. All form of favoritism should stop. All form of nepotism should stop. All form of kickback should stop. This is no time to create a very useless system for a government that is trying hard to clean the system, particularly the civil service system, from all form of moral and financial corruption. The children of minorities have been dead once or twice or thereabout. The manner in which they even attend to you is very, very uncalled for. You were employed to serve the people of Edo State. You were employed to be their bosses. So they pay your salary. Then when they come in there, you must give them the maximum respect that they needed. Not to snub them as if they are inconsequential. This must be very, very clear. I'm not going to talk about it again, but I'm going to wait for some time. If there is no improvement in the system, I'm going to say some certain things that even the government might not like. I'm just very clear on this right now. I'm going to just end there. Do your fucking job. Let the people get value for their money. If there's any reason why there is a delay, it should be communicated to the general public through the TVs, radios, newspapers, even social media. They should be informed when there is a delay, if the delays are not deliberate. Okay? Now, on the ban of the Okareles, on the ban of the open grazing by the Satan governors, I think Ondo State, Ekiti State, and some other states have already put a law across to the state House of Assemblies to regulate the open grazing law. Delta State is already having a public hearing on that. And I want to advise the government. People are saying the Urban Secretary should bring an executive bill. Guys, we must begin to tell ourselves the gospel truth. We have constituencies in Edo State. We have local governments in Edo State. And each of these constituencies, we have a representative in Edo State House of Assembly. Now, the people at the Edo State House of Assembly can also enact a bill, put up a proposed bill that they can take to the House, they can look into, and they can pass it and give it to the state governor for assent. Because there's already a deadline. I think deadline is about September 14 or thereabout, where all the 17 states of the southern part of Nigeria to make sure that by 17th September, open grazing, ban open grazing law have been enacted all over the South. As of today, we've not heard of any law from the executive or the legislature, or even those people in the corridor of power, whether the opposition or the government in power. The reason why I am crying out right now is the activities of these Fulanis affects everyone, whether PDP, APC, ABGA, people in government or people out of government. The Benin Abuja Auchi Road today is a no-go area as we speak. People are being kidnapped by each passing day. A monarch in Taraba State, I think it was last week, read out a route act on the Fulanis, elders who are living in their forests to vacate the forest immediately. He gave them 30 days ultimatum to leave, or he's going to wreak havoc on them. We are not asking the government of Obaseki to do that. We are saying the government of Obaseki, the opposition government, and the legislature should please put up a proposed bill to enact a law to end open grazing in Edo State. The activities of these people is really becoming unbearable for the people of Edo State. They destroy our farmlands. They rape our mothers. They rape our aunties and sisters. Kill our uncles in their farms. With a reliable source, I just found out, I just got an information that in Auchi today, and many other parts of Edo State, people don't go to farm, particularly women do not go to farm alone anymore. They have to go to farm in company of 2, 3, 4 persons. So people now go to farm in groups, which is now making food production, particularly agriculture, to become a scarce commodity in Edo State. Not forgetting the ban on importation or from certain goods by the federal government, which they are not saying we must have self-sufficiency. But the self-sufficiency today is no more working as a result of the barbaric act of some, elements who have invaded our forests, wreaking havoc on the economy of the state. So I am calling on His Excellency Governor Obaseki. I am calling on the Speaker of Edo State House of Assembly, Honorable Marcos. I am calling on the SSGs, Barrister Sarado Ogie, and his deputy, Right Honorable Comrade Felix Shaibu, to, as a matter of urgency, put up a bill that should be looked into in order to stop the activities of these particular set of people. Because the reason I am saying this is this: if peradventure Delta State enacted their laws, Bayelsa and other southern states enacted their laws, and Edo has not become the open field for these people, 70% of these guys are going to invade our forests. They're going to get more havoc on our people, on our means of livelihood, and they're going to make our state to become ungovernable and unbearable. We are not asking the government to send them away. I think I was going through the Delta State House of Assembly right now. They gave them 5,000 square meters of land space, and they are demanding for 30,000 square meters. For goodness sake, how big is the entire Delta State? That actually shocked me. That's one of the reasons why I am coming up with this video right now. That the state government should put up its own law immediately before they invade us and turn the state to a killing spree state. Metiala is demanding for 30,000 square meters from Delta State. Free of charge, they are not buying. I do not even blame them. I blame the Delta State, State House of Assembly for even putting such an option for them. Every farmer in the south buys land to farm. Every farmer. Those of them who are into piggery, fishery, goat herding, poultry, grass cutter rearing, and all these other kinds of animal husbandries buy their lands, fence their lands, and even pay some certain form of royalty to the community where they have been hosted. So for them to be demanding for 30,000 square meters from the government of Delta State shows these guys means business. They are ready to create more problem for the states. So if we decide to keep quiet and allow them to continually dictate for us, whereas these guys do not actually, they pay little or nothing to the state government on taxation. It is an individual business that's supposed to be individual, but they are forcing Delta State, as I speak to you now, to increase the expanse of land from 5,000 to 30,000 square meters. If we keep keeping quiet and allowing people, this group of people, to continually we're going to be in a very big problem. I'm calling on the state government. During your law, during your bill, proposed bill, do not put anything like giving them any area of land to do their business. Let them source for land, buy land, and run their enterprise like every other businessman in the southern part of Nigeria. We do not get freelance. We actually buy. And many of us today are actually trying to put a sea of O's on the land we bought for farming. We are spending more just to keep our property and our business intact. So if the government of Obaseki wants to enact a law, that clause should be omitted. There is no parcel of land that should be given to the Fulani elders in Edo State. Pastor Sage Zeyemu has a farm here in Edo. He actually reared cattle. He has over 2,000 cattle, if I'm not mistaken. He rears them within a secured plot of land. They can also do same. It's their private business. They make the money and put the money in their pockets. They do not pay to the government. Okay, guys? That is that for the ban on open grazing. The law should start right now. We don't have the time. We should not be the one that will be what's it called, left behind in a time like this. Number 3 I'm going to talk about today is the situation of things at the Nigerian embassy in Spain. I've gotten a lot of complaint from the embassy in Spain over their, corruption-driven system. I've decided to keep quiet because I felt I don't really do such job. But the complaint is becoming very much, and I want to speak to these people today. I live in Sweden. In Sweden, when you apply for a passport online, you are asked to pay the required amount. And the moment that money is paid, that's the end. You book an appointment. They have appointment on their walls. Dates that are available. You pick your convenient date, and if it's available, it will be shown on their portal that is available. You pick the date, and on that day, you go to the embassy, wait for your time, they call you in, they thumbprint you, they biometric you, and in 2 or 3 days, you're asked to return back and pick up your passport. But I've heard series of complaints from the Spanish Nigerian embassy in Spain that after you have paid the required amount by law, which they collect about 100 and something euros by law, then when you are not looking for a date for an appointment, all the dates on their portal is booked. All the dates on their portals is booked. How the dates have been booked is one thing that is still very worrisome to me. And I'm very sure, guys, that some of these workers who are actually working at the embassy in Spain are the ones that are taking off all the days in order for them to do their criminal activities. I want the Ministry of Interior to look into the activities of Nigeria embassy in Spain. As a matter of fact, there are evidences against them that if you do not have a time, you are paying 260 euros to capture. So everyone, when they want to give you a time, maybe you are applying in January, they will tell you your time is in November. Knowing fully well that 99% of Nigerians needed the passport because they want to travel out of the country, either on a visit to Nigeria or to other parts of Europe. Having understood this whole thing, they will give you November as the only available date on their portal, knowing fully well you are not going to accept such a date. So they will not say, okay, we can help you to fast track your date backward, but you have to pay 260 euros on each passport capturing. This is unacceptable. These are part of what is happening today in Nigeria, both at home and in diasporas. You understand quite all right that the corruption situation in Nigeria is not as a result of the Nigerian government alone. It has become an inbuilt in every Nigerian to be corrupt. These guys who are committing this very particular crime have lived outside the shore of Nigeria for a very long time. Most of them are actually Spanish citizens, Nigerian Spanish, who have lived in Spain for close to 10, 15, 20 years. If you've lived outside the shore of your land for 10 years in a civilized and a well-behaved nation like Spain and any other Europe, and you see how this corruption tendency in you, that will show the corruption issue in Nigeria is not about the nation or the leadership. It is inherent in our DNAs. Every Nigerian, I repeat, every Nigerian want to make it quick. There is get quick rich syndrome. Get rich quick syndrome is one thing that is killing the Nigerian state. They take opportunity in anything to make wealth. I want the government to, as a matter of fact, call the ambassador of Nigeria to Spain to explain the 260 euros that they collect in order for somebody to have an appointment. Also call the ambassador of Spain, of Nigeria to Spain, to ask him or her why people are not allowed to take their phones into the embassy when they are going to discuss this illicit business. It has gone to my knowledge that these people, when you are coming in, they ask you to drop your phone before going into the office to not discuss this very bad system of corruption. What right do they have to deprive you of your personal belongings, which is one of your fundamental human rights? Because they know someone might decide to record them while they are demanding for this crime. We all know what happened when one of these same embassy staff in one of these countries, it was in Germany or so, who wanted to sleep with a married woman, all because she needed a passport. And this guy was set up after this woman has also paid through her nose. This has become a daily reoccurrence in our embassies all over the world. Anytime I renew my Swiss passport, I go to the police station, and we don't even go to the embassy anyways. We renew at the police station. There is a certain part of the police, in Sweden that's actually responsible for passport renewal. I book my time. I go there, pay the bills, book my time. Then on the day I go there, I got captured. In 4 days, I go back and pick up my passport. Or the passport can be posted to my address. All these whole processes doesn't take more than a week. And their passports are even more difficult in terms of materials that are imputed into the passport. Because there you're going to have your social security number on your passport and other vital information about you. But this is done within 4 days. Without you paying extra cost more than what the law required them to collect from you. That as at the last time, it was 40 euros I used in renewing my passport. The money is not the issue right now. I don't have a problem with that. If people are paying so much for something, they should get what they are being paid for. Somebody don't pay 100 and something euros by 140 euros, and you don't give them time. The next thing you do, you call them behind and ask them to pay 260 euros before they can get an appointment. Otherwise, they should wait till December or even January next year. That's only when they're going to have time. This is barbaric. This is uncalled for. And it is not good for the image of the Nigerian embassies abroad. Particularly, as of today, the Nigerian embassy in Spain, who has been known for this very, very, unacceptable atrocities. The workers there, who are the residual workers there, are too corrupt. The consulate, the ambassador, the Minister of Interior, the presidency should look into these criminal activities of these people and call them to order as fast as possible. Our people are suffering. Many of them could not travel. Many of them wasted their tickets because they were not attended to, because they refused to pay this very particular amount. And we all know people travel from one part of the country to another. Just somebody leaving Benin for Abuja to go and do passport if there was no embassy or no consulate in Benin City. So when you are leaving Benin for Abuja, you think you're going to spend 2 days, you end up spending 1 week. So you are also spending more money by staying in an hotel if you don't have any family or neighbors to stay with. I know that the Swedish embassy covers all the Scandinavians: Norway, Denmark, Finland, and Sweden. So it covers the 4 Scandinavian nations. So, but the embassy is in Sweden, and they have consulates in this other part of Scandinavia. But passport is only being done in Sweden, not anywhere else. I have went to the embassy in Sweden. I have met people from Norway, Finland, Denmark. They came into Sweden the same day. They did their thumbprinting the same day, and they returned back home to their respective countries the same day. Hardly does anyone stay more than a night in Sweden if they come for passport renewal or insurance. These criminals in Spain should be very careful. I'm not going to mention your name in this video because I don't want to put a warning across. But the next video I'm going to do, if this persists, I'm going to call names. And I'm going to make sure that their names will be forwarded to the Minister of Interior, and it will be forwarded to the presidency. Actions will be taken. Otherwise, we are going to raise an online protest over the activities in Spain.
Yes, thank you, my people, right there. We're not going to stay long on this one. We are coming back again because we have another topic we are going to talk about this evening. So I'm sorry that I'm not going to stretch this. So that one from our brother Stephen Eriamato. My people, we're going to join me in the next 25 minutes. So maybe we talk about the situation of Nnamdi Kanu, Sunday Igboho, because we have an update on those two people. So we are coming back straight away. Thank you.